This conference will now be recorded.
All right, can you see the screen? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
See, so far in PA, in personal administration, we created structures. In OM, we created org structure. OM. Once we start payroll, we create pay structure. So that is not considered as a basic structure anyway. The basic structures are three: org structure, and enterprise structure, and the person structure. And in the beginning itself, I told you this entire SAP HR solution, not just a SAP, it can be SuccessFactors or Workday, any HR specific solutions. The solutions are designed based on the structures and groupings. Okay, we may not call with the exact terms in other technology. Okay, but in SAP HCM, we call it as a structures and groupings. Every HR solution, like it may be PA or time management, payroll, benefits, compensation management. Okay, all these solutions in all these modules are designed based on the structures and groupings. Structure is what? Okay, the structure is division, dividing employees as a group, dividing and identify employees as a group on different criterias, on various criterias. Okay, example, when I say enterprise structure, you are dividing the employees based on what? Based on accounting parameter, which is nothing but a company code or a balance sheet, and geographical location. Okay. Geographical location. You divide and identify the employees based on accounting. When you assign a company code, you are, see, I have two company codes. Okay, and while hiring an employee, I assign a company code to the employee. By assigning a company code, I am dividing these employees into two groups, and I identify them: company code 1 employee and company code 2 employee. In each company code, let's say three locations. When you assign a personal area to the employee, you divide these employees, total employees, into two company codes or six groups based on location. Based on accounting, two groups. Based on location, six groups. Okay, let's say each location has a two sublocations. Then based on sublocation, and all employees are identified as a 12 groups. Okay, 12 groups. 6 into 2, 12 groups. So you divided these employees into 12 groups here. For example, Tata Consultancy Services and Hyderabad location, in Hyderabad high-tech city location, there are 5,000 employees. You can easily filter them from the database. So you divide them and identify them as a group. That's what is a structure. So now next, what is personal structure? The personal structure is what? It is divide these employees based on what? What criteria? Non-location criteria. Non-accounting and non-location. Means what? Based on their nature of work in one location, based on their contract type, based on their frequency, based on their working time conditions. Okay, using these criteria, you divide the employees. For example, you have 5,000 employees in Hyderabad TCS, okay, and Madhapur location, okay, but all 5,000 employees will not have the same payroll policies, same benefits policies will not be there, same time policies will not be there. These policies varies based on their nature of work, their contract type, their frequency, their work. So you have to have a person structure in the system, which is again dividing these 5,000 employees into different groups. Let's say I have a permanent, I have a contract, okay, I have a trainee, okay. So this again, the TCS Hyderabad Madhapur location employees are divided into 3 groups, further divided. Okay, within a permanent there can be a worker, there can be an engineer, there can be a consultant, further division. So this is a personal structure. Org structure, the third structure, it is a division of employees based on departments and the job. It is a division of employees based on their department and their job. Okay, so that is OM. So these are called structures. Such structure is nothing but dividing. So you are dividing these employees into very micro level, so that you can easily identify them. Okay, also system can identify them and then apply the policies to those employees, to those group of employees. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Then what is grouping? What is grouping? Can anyone guess what is this grouping? So here onwards you will see grouping. You will see grouping. These groupings are used in time, used in payroll, used in benefits, used in compensation, okay, used in travel, etc. Everywhere based on these groupings. All the solutions in these modules are designed based on groupings. Okay, what is a grouping? What is a grouping? You see, understand this very important point. This grouping is. There is Hyderabad location, okay. There is Bangalore location. There is Chennai locations, okay. In Hyderabad, there are set of sales offices. There is a plant production, okay. There is an admin office, okay. In Bangalore also, there are sales offices, okay, and production unit. There is admin. Okay, so in Chennai also same thing. So what I have done while creating the enterprise structure, this Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai I have taken as a personal areas. The sale locations, there are 10 sales locations, okay, one production unit, and one administrative office. In Bangalore, then there are 15 sale locations, two production units, and then there are one admin office. Okay, here there are 7. Okay, production unit 1, and then admin office 1. So totally, how many persons of areas are there? 8, 12, Okay, 19, 18, here it is 8. Okay, totally 38 sub-areas are there. Okay, 38 sub-areas are there. Now, client policies are like this. Client policies are like this. For all sales locations, these leaves are applicable. Okay, sales locations, casual leave, vacation leave, okay, unpaid leave, and sick leave. Okay, for all production units, they say they have vacation leave, they have casual leave, okay, they have unpaid vacation leave, and then unpaid leave. Okay, they have sick leave. They have sick leave and admin locations. They have only vacation leave, unpaid leave, and sick leave. Okay, so here in sales there are 4 leaves policies are there. In production unit there are 5 leave policies are there. In admin there are 3 leave policies are there. Okay, so but if you look at the locations here, totally 38 are there. It can be 200, it can be 150 locations, but in this example it is 38 locations are there. So we will never apply any policy directly to the employee groups or locations. In SAP system, we will never apply any, we will never create any of these leaves directly to the personal area level. If I have to create this personal area level, then 38 personal areas are there. And for this personal area, these leaves are there. Another personal area, these leaves are there. Another personal area, these leaves are there. For all 38 locations, you need to create these leaves. So what SAP has done is, wherever there is a similarity or similar entries or common entries applicable, wherever there are common entries applicable, you can group them into one group. For example, I'll take the group 01. Okay, I'll take the group 01 and I'll take the group 02. Second group, I'll take the group 03. I'll take the group 03. Okay, in group 01, I assign these 10 locations and these 15 locations and then these sales locations. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason?
You have common.
They are the similar groups.
There are similar entries are there. So that's the reason I maintain them in the group. Now, with this group, I create these entries. 01 SL, okay, 01 VL, 01 UL, 01 CL. Okay. Now, these production units, I group them with a name. The group name can be any number. Sometimes it can be alphanumeric code. Sometimes it can be only number. Okay. With this, I create these leaves. With this, I create these leaves. Okay. And all admin locations, I group them into one group. Because admin locations have different entries. So what is the purpose of creating a group? Okay, grouping is nothing but permitted entries. The grouping in SAP is nothing but permitted entries. Okay. Or else, in other words, you can say this grouping will help you to restrict the entries to the locations. wherever there is a grouping concept. Okay, the main purpose of the grouping is to restrict the entries, okay, to that particular location, So with the 03, I'll create these 3 leaves. Okay. Now let's say I'm hiring employee to admin location. I assign a personal area 0003. Okay. Personal sub area 0003. My personal area is, let's say, Hyderabad, and sub area is 0003. Okay. Now for him, I'm trying to create a leave. I'm trying to create a casual leave. Will it allow me? Will the system allow me to create this leave?
No, sir.
I'm hiring an employee to admin location. Okay. So here, this location is maintained with the grouping what in the background. This location is maintained within the grouping 03. Right? This is maintained with the 03 grouping. With the 03, is there a CL? With the 03, is there a CL? There is no CL. Right? Immediately, it gives a message. The CL is not applicable to the admin location employees. Okay. So that is the main purpose of the grouping. It will help you to restrict the entries or policies, you can say. It will help you to restrict. I'm restricting the casual leave policy to the admin employees because it is not applicable to the admin employees. Okay. Even if you hire an employee to production, in production all leaves are applicable. In sales, unpaid occasion leave is not there. You cannot maintain that record. Okay. So make the best use of this grouping to create a restricted entries. Some people, what they do is, instead of doing this analysis and creating the groups based on, common entries applicability, they keep every location in the same group. Without doing this analysis. Blindly, they take a single group for all locations. And with the single group, they create all the leaves which are there in the company. At a company code level, they create all the leaves with a 01. They create the leaves with a 01 entry. Now, what is the problem here? Tell me. What is the problem here? What is the problem? You don't see any problem here?
There won't be any restrictions to that.
Yes. Now take the same example. You're hiring an employee to admin location. Okay. So according to the policy, only these 3 leaves should be applicable. But if I'm trying to maintain CL for the employee in admin location, will it stop me? It won't stop me, right? Because This location is maintained with the grouping 01, and with the 01 CL is applicable. So that the record is saved without any error. The record is saved without any error. Now the time evaluation is run and the payroll is run and the employees are paid. Okay, and the bank transfer is also done. And after that you identified it. After that the user identified it. So the wrong leave is entered for this employee, which is a casual leave. Okay, because of this there are some differences in a payment. There may be extra paid, there may be a less paid, it could be anything. But you identified it after paying the employee. Now the end user identified after paying the employee and raised the ticket to the client consultant. Okay, so you log into the system and then see. Okay, and you look at the blueprint. In the blueprint it says the casual leave is not applicable to the admin employee. Now you'll ask the end user, what did you create? It is your mistake. You can throw it on end user. Okay, and he says, and in the blueprint I've clearly explained the casual leave is not applicable to this employee, but why the system is allowing me? Why it is not restricted? While trying to maintain the casual leave, I expect the system, okay, I expect an error from the system. It should stop me in the input level itself. Now it is a hell lot of process now. I already settled that employee, and then in the next month payroll I need to recover that. Right? So which one is better? If you are getting an error at the input level itself, it is saving the huge time. That is called quality solution. Okay, so technically it is possible to take a grouping blindly, one grouping, and create all interests of this grouping. Just to finish our work, we can take a single grouping and then create all interests with the grouping. But the system does not restrict the end user while he is maintaining the wrong entry for an employee. That cannot be called as a quality solution. Okay, because in this case you are throwing it on end user because end user gave a data entry incorrect. Okay, that's why the solution is incorrect. But that's not a right solution. So you need to do this right analysis. Sometimes you may have 100 locations, you may have 150 locations, 200 locations. Okay. So another example. See, I have 38 locations. How many holiday calendars would be there? In this example, forget about absences. Okay, forget about absences. I'm talking about the holiday calendar. I have 38 locations. In this example, how many holiday calendars would be there? Each location,
Not
do we
more.
have a different holiday calendar?
No.
So we don't have a different holiday calendar in each location, right? Okay. So what do we do? You see, generally the holidays are based on the location, right? Okay, so all these Hyderabad locations are grouped into one group. This is, let's say, H1. Why? Because all the employees belonging to Hyderabad location and its sub-locations, same holidays are applicable. Same holidays are applicable. In Bangalore also, it is for all the locations. Definitely in India, we have a state-to-state holidays difference. So this is the H2. This is the group H3. Group H3. Okay. All these sales locations, productions, and admin grouped into H2. Sales, again productions, and then admins. How many holiday calendars I'm creating now? Now this group is called holiday calendar. It is assigned with holidays. Okay, you maintain holidays to this grouping. So there are 15 holidays. Okay, there are 15 holidays you are creating with H1. There are 12 holidays you are creating with H2. There are 12 holidays you are creating with H2. Clear? Like this, you create holiday calendars. Now H1, H2 is called holiday calendar, but technically it is what? It is a grouping. Okay, H1 is a grouping of holidays. We call it as a holiday calendar. Okay, you may have 100 locations, but you will not have 100 holiday calendars, because some of these locations have a same set of holidays. Some of the locations have a same set of holidays. You can group them into one holiday calendar grouping, and with that holiday calendar grouping, you maintain holidays. You maintain holidays. So this is what you are grouping the locations. Okay, you are grouping the locations for the holiday calendar. Previous example is what? You are grouping the locations for absences. You are grouping the locations for absences. Here you are grouping the locations for the holiday calendar. Like this, there are groupings in time management, there are groupings in payroll. You group these locations for bonus calculation, payment calculations. You group these locations for appraisals. Okay, wherever there is a common process, common policies, common entries applicable, we use a grouping. Okay, so we group these structures into the grouping. So this grouping based on location, the grouping based on location, you will see it in a table. So this is group personal sub areas for the policies in time, payroll. Okay, the policies in time, payroll, mainly those are. And what else are there? Let me check. PD, personal development. Appraisal means PD. Payroll and small. The table is this. Okay, you group the locations. Similarly, you have personal structure grouping. Group employee subgroups. For the policies in time, payroll, and only these two are there, it seems. The table is, these are the two tables which we have to work on frequently. Same PD. We're not covering PD anyway. V underscore 503 underscore all. Okay. Suppose example for employee subgroups. I have permanent monthly, permanent weekly, contract monthly, contract weekly, impact monthly, impact weekly employees. Okay. So these are what employee group and employee subgroups. If there is a policy that I'm applying to only monthly employees, if there is a policy that I'm applying to only monthly employees, then how many groupings? Weekly employees separate policy, monthly employees separate policy. But when I look at my personal structure, there are 6 personal structures. But groupings are how many?
So,
I'm applying, let's say, bonus calculation for monthly employees separately, bonus calculation for weekly employees separately. How many groupings we have here?
so,
Two groupings. So I'll take the group name, usually employee groups, okay, with a single digit code, okay, character code or alphanumeric code. I take the group name A, I take the group name B, okay, and all monthly employees I group them into A. And all weekly employees I group them into B. Okay, and write a logic like this. If grouping is A, do this. If grouping is B, apply the calculation like this. So this is an example for the personal structure grouping. And we give the group the personal structures. Okay, again for the policies and time and payroll and the PD scenarios. So these are the two tables which we are going to work very frequently. Okay, wherever there is a person superior grouping, it is V underscore 00 and P underscore all. Wherever there is an employee subgroup grouping, it is V underscore 503 underscore all. Now the question is, I have to group like this. All the employees in Hyderabad, in this example, Bangalore, all the employees in Hyderabad permanent and Bangalore permanent employees. Okay, I need to group these two guys into these two categories into one group. Hyderabad permanent employees, Bangalore permanent employees. Again, Chennai permanent employees have a different policy. Now, where do you do this grouping? You are using elements of enterprise structure, you are using elements of personal structure. In the above two examples, you group the locations and you separately group the employee subgroups. Now, in this example, you need to group both enterprise structure elements and the personal structure elements into one group. Okay, Chennai permanent employees have a different policy. Chennai permanent employees have a different policy. Okay, and also here, all weekly employees, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, all location weekly employees have a different policy. So how many entries are there now here? Three groups. Hyderabad permanent, Bangalore permanent one group, Chennai permanent one group, and all locations weekly employees into one group. So here you are using both enterprise structure and personal structure elements. Okay, you are grouping based on enterprise structure and personal structure. Where do you do it? In which table do you do it? Any real time, guys? Anyone?
I11 underscore B.
No. Anyone?
I11 underscore B.
No. So that's where the features are used. In features, what you are doing? You look at the number. Okay, simple example. In feature, we don't call it as a grouping, but it is indirectly the same thing. You look at this. Or take AV carers, simple. What you are doing here? If employee belongs to the country India, if he belongs to company code, and if he belongs to trainee. Okay, all the employees in India, okay, all the employees in India in the company code IN20 and the trainees. So what is this? You are grouping the enterprise structure and the personal structure into 2B. Okay, what is this 2B? It's payroll area, and which has common pay frequency and then pay dates. So this is indirectly a grouping. Okay, in this grouping, what you are using the elements of enterprise structure, person structure, and also input type fields. Some of the input type fields. For example, if you see USA, see you are using country along with employee groups and subgroups, and you put them into one group. All the employees in USA, okay, and those who belong to monthly contractors, you group them into 6B. Similarly, Namkar, okay, if you see this Namkar, in USA, I have personal areas. See, suppose within a New York, I have permanent and then contract employees. Within a New York, if employee belongs to permanent, and otherwise, okay, and I group them with this one with the A1. So A1 or A3 is a group. This one A4. Like this I configured it. So what it means? A3 represents what here? Tell me. A3 represents what? And A4 represents what? Anyone? A3 represents what? A4 represents what? So this is how the feature is. A3 represents what? The employees in USA who belongs to this location and permanent. You are grouping this category employees into A3. And for them, any entry in the A3 is applicable, right? And New York, okay, others means contractors, trainees, in patent expat, and I group them with what? A4. A4. So anything beyond these tables, anything beyond this table, any grouping beyond these tables, the features are given. Okay. Beyond the features, again, if you want to use any other thing, the personal calculation rule in the program level, you can group them into one group. Is it clear, guys? The grouping concept. Any question here? Is this clear or not? Can you hear me? Should I ask individually?
It is clear.
You understand this grouping or not?
Yes, sir.
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So holiday calendar. The definition of holiday calendar. This is a set of holidays applicable to each personal sub-area. Holiday calendar simple definition is a set of holidays applicable to each personal sub-area is a holiday calendar. The same set of holidays, when the same set of holidays applicable to multiple personal sub-areas, you use the same calendar. Okay, use the same calendar. Like in the above example, these locations have same holiday calendar, so I assign H1. Bangalore location have a different calendar, I assign H2, and Chennai H3. And H1 has 15 holidays, H2 I'm going to assign 10 holidays, in H3 I'm going to assign 12 holidays. Okay, so the simple definition of holiday calendar is a set of holidays applicable to each person area is a holiday calendar. So what you have to do first step, create holidays first in the system, and then create calendar and assign holidays applicable. So we need to create 3 calendars in this example, and then assign this calendar to personal sub areas. In which table? V underscore 001 P underscore all. You are grouping these locations for the holidays. Okay. So that's all for today. Catch you tomorrow. I'll stop here.